Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. Wow, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Wow, the overall energy of this reading is the Six of Wands. Public success, victory. There's something about this image of the Six of Wands. They're lighting each other's candles. Something about your success creates a feeling of success with everyone. People are happy for your success. People are celebrating your success. There's something about you winning that allows a lot of people to win. It's a very inviting energy. So I get the feeling that when you succeed, a lot of people succeed because of you, because of how you view your world, how you show up. There's what rising tides raise all boats kind of feeling here. What's the success? What does the viewer, thank you. Wow. Judgment and the Fool card. So it looks like you've had an awakening. It feels like you might have had several awakenings and it's created a new version of you. Wow. So you've started new cycles, allowing yourself to become a different version of yourself. Boy, there's the people in the original image of Judgment. There's an angel calling them out of their coffins. Excuse me. Calling them out of their coffins. They're not well. Calling them to a new life that's bigger, new. And same thing with the Fool card. Fool card is the 0 of the tarot deck. It's the very beginning. It's the first card on a journey. The Fool's going in a direction he's never gone before, taking a leap of faith. He's never gone on this journey. He's new, but he's willing to take that leap of faith. And it looks like your willingness to wake up, to become more conscious, to stop accepting a small life where you're inside a coffin. Some of you might have felt like you were not really living such a small version of what your life really could be, of who you wanted to be. Feels like a lot of you, that coffin life was somehow someone wanted you in that way of being, that small way of showing up. Feels like that small way of showing up made others feel comfortable, but not you. It's not enjoyable to be a fraction of who you are. It's not comfortable to live for someone else. It's not comfortable to center other people's beliefs and on your own spirit. And it looks like what's led to this public success, this glow up, is your willingness to get out of uncomfortable spaces and take leaps of faith in a new direction that was uncharted for you. You didn't know. And yet here you are having success. And it looks like you are inspiring others. You're lighting other people's candles because they are perceiving that, oh, it actually works to be yourself, that you can have a different life. You can let yourself out of that coffin, that small way of being, and do anything else. Go towards what you desire. Become the person you've always preferred to be. And it feels like it's set you free. You're on your high horse. There's public success and recognition coming in. And it feels like people are wanting to know what's the secret? What's your secret sauce? Well, it looks like your secret sauce started from needing to leave an environment, having to protect yourself from someone who's very controlling, someone who took advantage of your dependency or codependency, not feeling like you can be on your own, not feeling like you can protect yourself, not feeling like you can support yourself. And so this person controlled you, made you feel that the coffin life is the best you deserve. And it feels like they whittled away at who you are, like their own personal punching bag, their own personal person to blame. This isn't love. This is very painful experience. I think you thought you were connecting with someone who you could trust and love, but instead it feels like a very abusive connection. There's not that, I would not call that love. I would call that you're needing to protect yourself from the person who's closest to you. It looks like you got yourself out of that small way of being, taking the leap of faith, and it's leading to a huge glow up. Way to go. All right. Moving on, let's look at hidden blessings. We have the Two of Cups. Mer people. All right. So it does look like you're interested in having love. I'm hearing, gosh, do you believe in life after love? That Cher song is just playing on repeat in my head right now. Feels like someone very different because you're very different. It's not going to be the same type of relationship based on needs and dependency. I need you for this. I need you. So they take advantage of you through those needs. This feels very balanced. This feels like someone who is interested in who you are authentically, as you are, not who you could be, not what you can do for them. This feels like you've also created a balance between your masculine and feminine energies. There's a lot of wisdom coming in with the lotus flowers here. Feels like you have a different vantage point from where you are about relationships. It feels like they mean something very different to you now that you have left a space that was way too small, and you being such a small version of yourself to placate someone else. It looks like you're bringing in the energy of Ace of Swords, truth, freedom. There's something about this truth that you're bringing into, it feels like a relationship. Definitely a relationship with yourself. It feels like you are willing to cut people out when you realize, oh, that's not care, that's not love. They're just a person, but they're not caring for me. There's a lack of care here, cutting that out. But there's also uncomfortable truths about yourself that it feels like you're willing to have. That sword cuts both ways. So it feels like you're able to see people more clearly and also able to see uncomfortable truths about yourself. not as punishment or guilt or shame, but just so you can be aware of all of who you are. Feels like a lot of the liberation that you want is through uncomfortable truths about yourself. If you can only have the love and light about yourself, and you can't have uncomfortable shadow truths about yourself, then your shadow is ruling you. If you have blind spots and you can't perceive that you have done anything wrong, you can't have that about yourself, then that means that your shadow is unconscious and rules you. Someone who is powerful, standing in their truth, can, yes, have their light, have their beautiful light, and also can have their darkness and understand how that affects them, how that affects relationships, how to keep it in check, how to be responsible for unconscious and subconscious energies. Because if your shadow, if you can't have uncomfortable truths about yourself, can't have them at all or very little, then your shadow rules you. Your unconscious is ruling you. As difficult as it is to perceive uncomfortable, painful truths about ourselves, I have found that when I can open up and have that and see, yes, I've got a truth, but this person here that I care about, they also have a different perception, and it is also true. Can I perceive uncomfortable things? Can I own that so I can change my behavior so I don't hurt the people that I care about? There's a lot of power that comes in with owning your shadow instead of in denial, keeping it in your blind spot. It also feels like then people can hide in your blind spots too. They can hide their misdeeds, things that you don't want to see about them in your blind spots. So what I'm getting here is it looks like you're bringing a lot of truth and a lot of clarity, and it's a blessing. It's creating a lot more harmony within you instead of just not knowing where all this shadow and pain is coming from, like owning it, accepting it, getting comfortable with the dark and the light, because we are not just one, we are a mix. Then you have control over that. If there are two wolves and you deny that there's a dark wolf, then that wolf just gets bigger and bigger in the unconscious, and you have no control over it. You need to put your wolves on a leash. You need to have voice command over your wolves. But if you deny that's even yours, I can't see it, then you act in unconscious ways because you can't have it. There's a lot there. So it looks like the blessing is accepting truths. Wow. All right. Leaving behind Two of Swords. In the Two of Swords illustration, she's crossing those swords over her heart in protection. And she's got a blindfold on. So she's not tied. She can get that blindfold off. So it feels like she doesn't want to see something. And she's protecting her heart from some type of decision. This and that thinking. It feels like there's a little bit of willful ignorance here. I don't want to see the truth, because if I see the truth, I'll have to act on it. So what you're leaving behind is willful ignorance. Feels like the more you can have about yourself, the more truths you can have about others as well. And less coming from a space of judgment and more just truth, recognition, so we can figure out if we can work together going forward. Wow, that's interesting how that flipped out. Chariot. Boy, you're really wanting to leave something behind. You're wanting to move on from something, what you're leaving behind, in a powerful way. This feels like outward, like you're really wanting to put some distance between you and that willful ignorance. Feels like you're making decisions, owning the decisions that you make, taking control over the reins of your life. So 9 of Pentacles came out as a challenge. It looks like you're also leaving behind a belief that you can't be independent, that you can't be secure, stable, and independent. Who benefits from the beliefs, from you having beliefs in your space that you can't create abundance for yourself, that you don't have some skill, some talent that you can create abundance with? Someone benefits from you not knowing your power. Someone benefits from, it might be you. Maybe there's been a story that you've told yourself, like, I need others and I can't. And maybe you're letting that go. And it's a challenge to show yourself that I am independent. I can be independent. I can create streams of revenue for myself. I can create the world that I prefer. All right. How to get the most of this energy is the Emperor. Take the lead. It feels like it's vital to get the most out of this 6 of Wands energy. And the truth is, take the lead. Make decisions for yourself. Feels like you might be building something. It feels like you've been leaving, if I'm gathering what this reading, what I'm perceiving is that you've left a very controlling environment where the people around you were not friendly, were not really on your side, and you've now perceive things very differently. You want a life that's very different. You want to be happy, help others. And so there's a need to step into your masculine energy, take lead, take control. What does the viewer need to know about how to get the most of this energy? How to use this Emperor energy? I get the feeling 10 of Cups reverse, 3 of Pentacles reverse, Ace of Cups reverse, that there's a need to take a lead, to step into your Emperor energy, to get out of an environment or situations that are 10 of Cups reverse, very unhappy, miserable. No one's working together and no one's happy. There's a lack of care, a lack of love. You making the choices. It feels like some of you might be waiting until someone else makes a decision about this instead of taking the lead. It's weird how that came out so like, you need to do this. That feels, what is that from? Okay, it's coming from it feels like I might be talking to someone specifically who perceives the space they're in, the world they're in, is very unhappy that there's no one here working with me. There's no love, there's no support. Maybe I've lost care too. And so let me lead myself out of this. It feels like some environment, a relationship has ended, has expired, and there's a need to make some decisions to create the world after this. Create the version of you that you prefer, create the life you prefer. Okay, there's another message coming in. Same cards. It feels like I'm talking to someone who's in a different point, that has left a relationship, has moved. And you're up against some type of unable to find people to care. You're finding difficult people that are not choices for you. What I'm perceiving here is, now that you're leading yourself, now that you are using that sort of truth to use discernment, now that you're seeing things clearly, it feels like you're not suffering fools. So it feels like the people around you, there's a lot less people. There might have just been a lot of people around you, warm bodies, but they're not for you. I think addressing who do I want to hang out with, who do I want to be with going forward, and who do I not want to. There's something important here about letting go of people that you don't enjoy being around. Just letting them go, not needing them to be a monster, not needing to, just recognizing when something has ended and let it end. Let them go. For some of you, there's this emotional attachment it feels like you're working your way through. What's interesting is the Six of Wands is also showing up here. Public success. There's the laurel, victory. Feels like you've been through a lot. These are battle-weary people. But you're on your high horse. You're being celebrated for taking the lead. It feels like you've worked through difficult environments, difficult situations. Odds were against you kind of energy here, and yet here you are. And getting a bit of how did you do that? How did you create out of such unhappiness, maybe chronically for a long time, with no support that others are perceiving, no support, no love, no one pouring into you, and yet you're now showing up as this leader in emperor mode and having success. Yeah, I'm curious too how you did that. I think you have people baffled. And that's why you're getting so much attention, because people want the freedom that you have created for yourself. The permission to be yourself, the permission to take charge, and to share that. You're not gatekeeping. It looks like you keep sharing your success with others. I just heard pathway to illumination. It feels like others are seeing that, you are becoming the change. You experienced a great deal of control, imbalance, someone creating instability, not investing in you, someone bullying you. So you didn't have support. You left an incredibly painful environment where you have no support. Maybe they're actively working against you, where you are pouring from an empty cup to everyone else around you. And yet, still, here you are in this leadership position, finding success. And it feels like that is blowing everybody's minds. They're trying to figure out how you did it, and it feels like you're sharing how you did it, or you're not gatekeeping. You're willing to share. You're willing to lead others to this way of being. Wow. All right, what's supporting you is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Second time, Seven of Cups in reverse showed up in how to get the most of this energy. It's interesting that they're right next to each other in this reading. A lack of choices. You've had a lack of choices. It feels like some of you, purposefully, someone created so you wouldn't have opportunities, you wouldn't have choices, so you wouldn't have people around you to support and care. I think you recognize these are not my options. They are beings, they are people, but they're not for me. They don't want me to be myself. We're not on the same page. And just to let them go. It feels like you recognize these people aren't an option. I think part of what's supporting you is recognizing what's not for you, what's not an option, who's not an option. But it feels like you stopped choosing the same people, the same situations, started making some changes here, started choosing differently, not from the old options, and so you started getting different results. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. Insanity. And so it looks like you started making different choices and stopped choosing people who aren't choosing you, situations that aren't for you, getting real and recognizing, I don't like this person. I don't want to continue this relationship. I don't need to make them out to be a bad person. I don't want to keep choosing something that's not for me. Okay, so there's something you've mastered, something that you've been working on. Oh, there's something that you thought had sailed that's not you. Wow, strength card. Excuse me, inner strength. There's something you're working on. With the moon card, there's something hidden that's coming to light. Let me keep going. There's something coming out. It feels like it's a part of you coming back, coming alive. It feels like there's something that you've been working on. And there's a part of you coming alive. It's part of you coming from your subconscious. It feels like standing your ground, standing up for yourself. Someone is trying to create destabilization. Someone's trying to create some deception about you to affect your stability, your finances. And it looks like you're standing You're standing on business. You've got the higher ground here. Let's see. It looks like you're standing up for yourself, and that's supporting you. It's not an option for someone to what is this? It feels like someone's coming after maybe your finances, your stability, your security. Someone has been very comfortable creating a false reality, a false narrative about you. And that's coming to light. It's being seen. It looks like you're standing up for yourself, standing your ground. You've got the energy of truth, the Ace of Swords, in hidden blessings. So it seems like the Seven of Wands, standing your ground with the hidden blessing, is the truth. Oh. Okay, this is someone who's... It feels like after you stand on your ground, after you call them out, feels like they're being shady with this the moon energy, trying to disguise something, trying to make their problems yours. It feels like they're very sorry. They were acting from a reactive place. They're not in their intuition at all. They don't have potential in this. Whatever this deception, lie. Wow. It doesn't feel like it stands if you speak your truth to it and stand your ground. Feels like you're recognizing this person, there's some type of financial aspect, there's some trying to control the narrative about you, and it looks like you're standing up for yourself and it's working. Not acting from a reactive, out of control, hurt place, but this feels like grounded truth, not being up in your emotions or upset, but being very grounded when you deliver this truth, if that's the route you go. All right. What to be mindful of is the devil. Toxic energies, obsessions, addictions, needing to control something, control an outcome. I think if you try to control the outcome with any situation, I think that gets us in trouble. There's something here about someone, this feels like it's coming up because it might be a programming that you've had all your life, not being able to stand up for yourself, or allowing people to project some type of lie and deception on you. People taking their power back by pushing you down, by taking from you, creating some type of narrative about you, so you take the blame, you take the fall, so you're abandoned, so you're left out. And it looks like in this energy, you're addressing it. You're not reacting. You're standing up for yourself. You're finding what the truth is. And it looks like you're finding a lot of success around that, a public success even. Oh, that's funny. Devil again showing up. So yeah, it looks like what to be mindful of are these toxic energies. Whoa, Tower. oh, they're not expecting this. They really thought that they could take whatever their lies and deception, whatever their difficulty is, and bully you, make you to blame. But not in this energy. It looks like you're standing on ground. It looks like you're very balanced, speaking your truth, standing your ground from a very grounded space, taking the lead, Emperor. And it's causing a tower. I don't think this person expected you to fight back. I don't think they expected you to speak on the truth, to cut through whatever they're trying to sabotage, trying to get you. Feels like they're trying to pull the story over here so you'll get worked up and trying to protect it, where you're just like, no, this is what we're talking about. This is what you're trying to deflect and get the attention and trying to, So they're unable to take advantage of you. Wow. Holy cow. Oh, you are shifting, you're making decisions. This is a timing thing too. Feels like in your energy, you're becoming more aware of ways that you have, belief systems that you have where you tolerate, where you take everybody's blame, where people have been able to dump their problems onto you. As in, you're to blame. You did this. I'm not responsible. And it looks like it's coming to head right now. And you're like, absolutely not. Thank you. Thank you for showing this to me. But it looks like, it doesn't even look like you're fighting. It's almost like you're cool, calm, and collected, just speaking the truth, standing your ground, taking the lead, and it feels like you get a public success. It feels like nobody picks on you anymore because they can recognize that you're not a pushover, that you don't roll over and take anything, that you're not a victim, that you've got some claws, you've got some teeth. You'll fight for what's yours. No one's allowed to lie on your name. You're not getting emotional and taking it personally. You're just protecting yourself, standing on ground. The Emperor in the original card, he's got his armor on under his cloak. So he's protected. He's guarded. He's ready in an instant if he needs to be. A lot of this feels internal shifts and then communicating some truth from a balanced position. And it looks like it has quite an effect. It's disrupting all this toxic devil energy, all this being able to control someone else's reality, trying to control others' stories, trying to control someone else's narrative and how people see them. Feels like you're taking the truth and you're like, oh, sorry, friend, that doesn't work anymore. So, all right, I'm going to continue over on Patreon and do an extended reading where I look at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunity, and career and finance. So if you're interested, if this has been resonating and you want to continue on, there's a link in the description box below, says extended reading here. That takes you right to Patreon Part 2. Just to let anybody know what Patreon's about, it's a way for me to crowdsource support for what I do, and I wanted to make it economical for everybody who is interested. So it's $5 a month. So all extended readings, so it's what, a couple readings a month, it comes out to like a couple dollars. So hopefully that helps those of you who are wanting that extra time, those extra answers, and making it affordable. So, all right, I'll see you over on the extended reading on Patreon, or if not, have a great day. Bye.